is to kind of have a Venom movie, and we have a Venom movie, but we don't have a Venom movie.
I was hoping like you're saying it's kind of clunky and everything else. I was hoping like Venom and obviously there's the Joker movie that's coming out with Joaquin Phoenix and stuff like that. Like it would be a very interesting way to retell the superhero genre or stories from the villain's standpoint. Yeah. Right? Where you're getting some empathy for the villain, but you know, the hero just keeps on you know, like standing in the way or stepping in on their toes or whatever else. Yeah. And the evolution of like I was hoping you take sneak peeks of Spider-Man in the movie, or you have hints of like Peter Parker. Sure. Just mention and you begin to see that development. You can do it with like Luthor, obviously the Joker. Yeah. And just I think it would be a cool kind of concept. It'd be incredibly difficult to write and pull off and get, but if you could, I think it would be really neat.
Though, essentially, people are saying not very well done.
Right. Exactly. Which is why I'm like, oh, the clunkiness that I'm hearing is just...
Yeah, like we're not really... So basically, the Venom movie has come out, and reactions, basically, they started out as kind of like lukewarm, and they just completely... tilted to bad. Like, just this is not worth your time. This is not good. This feels like it's from 2004 as opposed to 2018. Yeah, there's some real damaging. It's not good. Like, it's just not good. Which is ironic enough because then the good, bad, and ugly. Because not only does the Venom movie have 2 post-credit scenes. Those 2 post-credit scenes are launching what I'll call a Venomverse. I'm going to coin it right now because it's not a Spider-Verse. It's not a Marvel-verse. This is not the Marvel universe.
What? No Miles Morales?
No. This is exactly what we think it is. This is heralded by Jared Leto. Morbius is the next Sony villains movie.
Morbius.
According to Screen Rant, Venom producers Matt Tolmach and Avi Arad, who next produce another Spider-Man-less spin-off, are expecting big things from the Jared Leto-led Morbius. Fans can expect to start hearing more about the project soon. We're obviously working on Morbius now. That's sort of next up for us. He expects awesomeness from the Academy Award-winning actor who famously took a method approach when unleashing his take on the Joker and then had half his scenes cut out. Just a similar level of intensity and charisma and devotion to the character. And loving the character. All right. Let's break this down to the good. What's the good of having a Sonyverse? Hassan, is there any good?
No.
No. I mean, one of our fans, Matthew Belize, wrote in that maybe we'll get to see Blade again. You know, because Morbius is very tightly connected to Blade, and we don't know where is that Blade franchise? Where does it sit? Does it sit with Sony?
It's non-existent.
It's non-existent, right?
So. I think Marvel actually has it. I think Marvel actually has it again.
It does.
Marvel MCU.
MCU.
I think I read that Kevin Feige was talking about it, like he had it in his possession. But I don't know.
So there's gonna be a Blade versus Iron Man 2024.
No, there's not. Yeah, there won't be. Okay. Look, Venom is everything wrong. Venom is everything wrong with Sony and with Fox. We'll take a character, we'll imbue it with none of the characteristics from the comic book. We'll use none of the stories from the comic book, but the people will flock to it because it's live action, and
that's the level of technology we have tonight.
Yeah, and basically. People will come to see it because it's an opportunity to see a live action Venom, and it doesn't work. And then they don't even make a good movie out of it.
So we had some folks on,
when they jammed Venom into Spider-Man 3.
We have some insider info, some folks that we know in the know that have read the script. So this is prior to the movie. The movie comes out tomorrow.
The script of Venom.
Yeah, and
tomorrow or Friday.
Well, you know how
Thursday
like
night.
Thursday night, Thursday night showing. They all had serious problems with the third act. A lot of
Third
reviews
act.
I've read now too.
Is that
Like
like
non-movie-
Fantastic Four's third act? Huh?
Non-movie people talking.
Fantastic
acts.
Four third act. Well, no, these
I
these
didn't
are
appreciate third
no, these are
act.
people in the know who
Yeah.
are writers.
Don't you watch
and-
movies in 3x?
The problem isn't the third. It can't be the third act. If
Save
the
the
third
cat.
act doesn't work, that means the whole movie didn't work.
Yeah.
So when you just blame everything on the third act, there's no way this had. I mean, it didn't even look good in the trailers.
Yeah.
Like the stupid extreme sports things he did with his motorcycle.
Yeah.
We had the symbiote grab the motorcycle. That's not even visually interesting.
Yeah.
Like it was wrong on like every level. And it's not Venom. The power of Venom is the story of the symbiote, the story of his connect. Starts off as a bad guy. He becomes he becomes a semi good guy,
Right.
semi decent guy.
Right.
If you're starting off with him being sympathetic and that he's some kind of lab rat,
Yeah.
because it's already backwards,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's already
No.
wrong.
And here's the other thing too that I thought was interesting about this whole thing. Well, we tried to do the good and we ended up being the bad. What's the ugly of having to do a Venom verse now? I mean, what happens? We got Jared Leto signed on to do Morbius and they're trying to produce Morbius. But if Venom is actually, by the way, it's tracking to break all October records.
Right.
It's
Great.
tracking to break October records.
October. Woohoo. We beat October. It's the only comic book movie coming out. So,
It's one of the only movies coming out besides Halloween.
and Predators kind of rose and fell, kind of fell with a thud. So
But I'm
there's
just saying,
nothing
so it's tracking to
into
do
the Spider-Verse is
very
a couple
well.
of months away.
right.
Well, of course
it's
gonna
tracking
do
to do
well.
very well.
Fine.
Let's assume though the critical acclaim of it that we're not getting so far results in an absolute tank. Like it doesn't make its budget. You already have greenlit the Jared Leto Morbius. Is there an ugly side to this? Is there should Sony just stop at this point? I mean, is it?
It's one thing to write for heroes. There's a formula for writing hero movies.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
there's a couple different ways you can do it. But to write a good villain movie,
Yeah.
if that's the direction they're going with, like Morbius and they're already failing on a well
Because
thought
there's
out
no
and fleshed out.
payoff. There's
Yeah,
no payoff because
know?
we don't have access to the hero.
Yeah.
So you're going to do a villain story, and there's
That's why I felt like there had to be at least some mention or reference to
Yeah.
But
like,
there
a
won't
spider
be.
at some point.
There won't be legally.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So
I agree with you.
You've got.
But that's the bad. It's just going
All
to
right.
get worse.
You've
If you're watching us on Facebook, we apologize. If you're not, check us out on YouTube, Periscope, all this fun stuff. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion, and we'll get into New York ComicCon, which is like the biggest show on the planet.
What's that?
When we come back.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Did you know you've been playing poker your whole life, even if you've never played a hand of cards? Hi, I'm Ellen Lakin, author of Poker Woman and host of the new show, Poker Divas. On the show, I talk about how poker strategy helps you win in business, life, and love. Tune in live every Thursday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network. Are you stuck in a rut? Negative thoughts, feelings, and conversations got you down? Hi, I'm Noreen Sumter, the Potentiator. Tune in every Tuesday at 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time and listen for new ideas on my show, Beyond Potential, Live Life Your Way, on talkradio.nyc.
Who do you want to connect with?
Are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur looking to build your following?
Welcome to our show.
Follow Me Friday with Joan
and Priya.
Tune in every Friday at noon Eastern
on talkradio.nyc.
We're your digital connectors. Woo!